My name is Mihaela and I work for Jaguar Land Rover. I graduated in 2017, and in September that year, I actually joined Jaguar Land Rover on a graduate scheme. So I was part of their product engineering graduate scheme, through which I went through a series of roles, both within engineering, but also outside of the engineering department. And after graduating that in September last year, I moved back to Manchester, working for Jaguar Land Rover still in the new office here. And I'm now a delivery lead for the data science team. Varied, actually. So the office that we've just set up in Manchester is focusing on software development. And so we use a framework called Agile development. And that's basically allowing people to cross-functional teams and people to collaborate and work together to deliver software in an iterative manner. So my role within my team is basically to be a champion of that and to make sure that the team is organized to both maximize business value, but also allow them to focus on their own development and career path. So one of my days could be scoping out a new project in which, for example, a machine learning algorithm could be developed by my team to help solve a quality issue, for example, or with my team providing updates to the stakeholders on the work that we've been doing, delivering demos to the engineering department, or stuff like that. So it's generally quite varied, and it depends on the project. We basically deliver projects within data science for the whole engineering department. I sat on a graduate scheme because I wasn't really sure where within engineering I would see myself. So I knew a graduate scheme would give me the opportunity to experience different roles and teams. And that's kind of what motivated me to apply for one. In terms of the industry, to be fair, when I started uni, my course actually had a placement here as well. So I did apply for a placement, which I ended up not taking in the end, but that's kind of the point when I knew I wanted to work for Jaguar Land Rover. I was always quite a big fan of their vehicles. But to be fair, I never really thought I could work in automotive. It was something I was quite scared of. Even after I grabbed my grad scheme offer, I was like, oh, I don't really know much about cars. But the truth is, you don't really have to know much about cars. It's a technology company in the end, and being a tech savvy person is more important. When I was in my final year, I was basically applying to as many grad schemes as I could. I wasn't really set on an industry, but now I'm really glad that I ended up in automotive because it's really, really interesting, and there's nothing better than seeing one of your projects working on a vehicle. When I joined the graduate scheme, I was actually a bit of a hardware engineer. See, the way the Jaguar Land Rover graduate scheme is structured is you join in and you are allocated a home team. So that's kind of your base team. And then you're given the opportunity to go and you do placements across different teams within the business, and you can choose those teams. I think my first placement was actually outside of engineering. It was in global marketing, global customer insights. Which was a requirement on the grad scheme at the time. So we had to do a placement outside of engineering, and that was, it was an amazing experience. I absolutely loved it. I was so scared before starting it because obviously I didn't really know much about marketing, but I loved it and I made the best connections there. I've gone to a few engineering teams. I did a placement in the self-driving vehicles team. Which was a bit more like hands-on and technical. We were doing a lot of testing on level 3 autonomy vehicles and getting to experience that was quite exciting, actually. And then I actually got a chance to come to the Manchester office, which had just opened at the time, to do a software development placement when I discovered this kind of agile side of things and realized that that's what I wanted to do. Yes, I think I started applying to graduate scheme around September, October time. I went to a few career fairs as well, and I did most of my research online, to be honest. I think I used websites like GradCracker, but of course the career service at the university was really helpful as well. I was actually quite lucky. I think it was my second year of studies. where I was invited to an event at Jaguar Land Rover through the career services. It was a Women in Engineering Day, and that was really insightful. And I think that's kind of what motivated me further to apply to them. It really helps if you schedule your time. So, for example, even if it's like, I don't know, an afternoon each week, that you take that time just to look for jobs and apply for jobs. And also, like, I would suggest go for the quality of the applications rather than the number. That's far more important. Try to find a number of jobs that you're actually interested in. Try to do your research properly and put together a good application, and try to block some time out to both, you know, focus on your university studies, focus on the applications, but also take some time to relax as well. That's really important. In terms of the application process, I would say don't put too much pressure on yourself, especially if you're applying while you're also in your final year of studies. I know how much there is going on with like your final year project and everything else. So yeah, give yourself space. And you have to keep applying, to be honest. Like there's no magic trick to land your graduate scheme, unfortunately. You just have to keep persevering and keep applying, and don't get demotivated by the rejections. I know it can be overwhelming at times, but just keep at it. In terms of the actual interviews or like assessment centers, I think the best advice I could give is research the company and make sure it's something you would be passionate about. I really did my research when I went to the assessment center, and the interviewer was quite impressed with that. So just make sure you do your homework. Don't get a grad scheme straight away. Don't worry about it. Try to make the best of the time that you have available to you, and keep applying.